Okay, so today the first thing we are going to look at is the data validation. But before we come to the data validation, let's look at how to use the if, right? So here we are going to add a new sheet. So let me click here. This new sheet we are going to rename. So you right click, then you click on rename. We'll give it a name as class. This is going to be the name for our new sheet. Then after adding the name over here with the class, we are going to just put in details of students. So here the first one, the first cell will be number, then the student's name, then the marks, then here we have pass or fail, like this. That's what we are going to do. So as we do know, let me just expand it properly. Then we will highlight. We know how to highlight. If you want to highlight, you need to make sure your cursor is in that thick white addition sign. So I'll highlight the area that I want to insert the borders. So I'll come to my ribbon under the home tab, click on the drop down, then I'll click all borders like this. So having done that, under the number, we are going to autofill from 1 to the rest. So here 1, then I will just autofill from here to here. Then we will have our autofill options. Click on it. Then I'll click on fill series. So here we are just going to use simple names over here. So here just Ama, Kofi, Samuel, Kwabena, Kevin, Janet, Joyce, um, Boating. So here then we are just going to give them their marks. So 87, 65, 74, 24, 96, 37, 54, 71, like this. Now here, after giving the marks, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to fill in where we have the pass or fail. We want to fill in whether the person has passed the exam or has failed. Now the pass mark for this exam is 50 and above, right? So when you score 50 and above, it means you've passed. But if you score below the 50, you failed. So here, let's say we had a whole lot of data. Are we going to waste time and then be typing them one by one? It will just delay. So what we are just going to do is just put in the function. Let's still expand. So bring your cursor here, you drag a little. We are going to put in a function that will perform the filling for us. And the function we need is the if function. So here we know to start with any calculation, you need to start with your equal to. So once you hit your equal to, then you type the name of the function, which is if. When you type your if, you open parenthesis, you press shift and 9, then you click on the cell the first cell that contains the 87. I'll click on it like this. Then we have what you call comparison operators. The last time I told you, we have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. So here we are trying to say that if the person scores 50 and above, so the operator is going to be greater than and then equal to, right? So to greater than or equal to, then I'll enter the marks 50. Then I'll bring a comma. So this is what I mean. This is if means a condition. So if the cell, which is cell C2, if the max in there is greater than or equal to 50, then what should happen? So that is why I brought the comma. So when you bring the comma, then you bring double quotes. So with a double quotes, it means that what it should fill in should be text. and anything that is text in Excel must be placed in double quotes. So if it is greater than or equal to 50, it should be pass. So you close your double quote like this. Then you bring another comma. So the next comma means else. So if the max is not 50 and above, then we need to see what? False, which is also a text, so it has to be in double quotes. So like this. Then I'll close my parenthesis. Then I'll hit enter. Now I will see pass. Why am I seeing pass? Because 87 is above 50, right? Then I'll come here, bring my cursor here, then I will drag down to autofill like this, and then you see all of them will just run through perfectly. So that is what I have done. And then after seeing this, the next one that um, I want to do. So let's say let me insert a new column behind the max. So we know how to insert columns. So I'll bring my cursor here, then I'll right click like this, then I'll click on insert. Then here I'm going to call it class score like this. So the class the class score is supposed to be, let's say, only up to 20, right? Only up to 20. So if it's going to be only up to 20, we are going to place something, right? We want to place something under the class score that whenever maybe someone enters a mark mistakenly, the person enters beyond the 20, the system should provide an error message until the right thing is entered, right? That is the data validation. So here you need to first of all highlight the area that you want to work with. So here, this area, I will drag like this my cursor to highlight the cell. So the cell that is under the class score. The class score is not part, the class score is the heading. So under the class score up to the last cell, which is here. Then after highlighting, I'll move my cursor to the data tab. After formulas, you see data. So I'll click on my data tab like this. Once I click on my data tab, the next thing I'm going to do is, there is a group. Have you seen this group? The group is called data tools, which is here, the data tools tab. Then inside there is a ribbon that we call data validation. Now, sometimes if you don't see data validation written like this, you still see this, a ribbon like this, a check, and then something like a circle. It still represents data validation. So you click on the drop down beside it, then you click on data validation like this, and then it will open a box. So this is the box that we are seeing. So here, when it opens, we have settings, we have input message, and then we have the error alert. So the first one, which is the settings, always by default it is any value. But when you say any value, that means they can accept anything. But we want to change the narrative. So over here, we need to click on the drop down, and then we'll choose whole number. So you click on whole number. Then here we have the data, we have between, right? So if it is between, that means we should have a minimum value and then a maximum value. So we can maintain this, or when you click on this drop down, we have more options depending on what you are doing, right? So here we want it to be less than or equal to, right? Because we said it should be up to 20, so less than or equal to 20. So we'll enter 20 in the box here. So after entering 20, we'll come back to our input message. We'll click in there. We have the title and then the message. Mostly we ignore the title because it's just a small header, so we don't need the title. But what is necessary is the input message. So under the input message, we are going to enter something like enter not above 20. So something like this, enter not above 20. Then the next one, we'll come back to the error alert. So we are done with the input message. We are coming to the error alert. Now, when we say the error alert, when it provides an error message, right? Or let's say when you enter the thing wrongly, and then the system wants to provide an error message, what should be the outcome? That's what we are going to specify. So here, when we have the error message like this, the stop, we are going to maintain the same thing. So the error message, you put in any nice message. So we'll put in something like out of range like this. So out of range. Then I'll click on OK. So once I click on OK, it means I'm through with it. Now look at this side. When you click on any of the cells that is below the class score, you will see the settings that you've made over there. So here you could see enter not above or 20. Now let me enter something like 25 and then see it has provided an error message that out of range. So it means that you need to enter a mark that is 20 and below, right? So let me retry. Let me enter something like 19. It's a 19, it worked perfectly. Something like 12 is working. 20 itself, it will work because we said 20 and below, right? But anything above 20 will not work. So 10 is working, 5 is working, 6 is working, 13 is working, 17, and then it will respond, right? Now, let's say you want to clear the data validation that you've done, you want to disable it. So if you want to disable, you need to go through the same process by highlighting the area that you applied the validation on. So here, I'll highlight the cells by dragging across them. So these are the cells. So after highlighting, then I'll come to my data tab again, right? Then I'll come back to the data tools group. Then I'll find my data validation. So I'll click on the drop down. Then I'll see data validation. I'll click on it. Then the only thing I'll just do is, have you seen they've written what clear all over here? I'll just click on clear all. Then I'll click on OK. Once I click on OK, when I click on any of the cells, you realize that no message is popping up. So if I enter any value at all with this time around, it's going to pick. So let me type something like 25 here. You see no error key, right? So that is how to use if and then data validation.